Hello everyone, welcome to Zen Zone Yoga. Today we will be doing a beginner level vinyasa flow class towards standing pigeon squat. So I will demonstrate right now. So you pick up your leg almost as if you're going to do tree pose, but you put it in front of your thigh, resting your ankle on your thigh, arms up into Anjali Mudra in front of you, and squat down on your remaining leg for a standing pigeon squat. This really gets deep into the hip flexor. It also requires balance and strength in your quadriceps and your calf muscles. So I will show you on the other side. Pick up your foot as though you're going to do a tree pose, but instead rest your ankle on your thigh, arms up overhead, down into Anjali Mudra, and squat down, keeping your back nice and straight and tall for a standing pigeon squat. So, if you would like to join me, please come to your mat in a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes, rest your palms or hands, palms up on your knees, and breathe deeply. And as you're breathing deeply, we will set an intention. The intention for this practice today will be overcoming fear of new things. This is a fairly difficult pose that we are working towards today, but if we believe that we can do it, you will be able to do things that you never thought you could. So put the fear aside. Don't worry about whether you can or not. It's all about trying. Because what's the worst that's going to happen if you try this and it doesn't pan out? Absolutely nothing. It's still good just to be here in the moment trying new things. The good thing about a practice such as this towards a fairly difficult pose is it really calms the turnings of the mind. When you are so focused on accomplishing a difficult task, one thing, there's no room to think about anything else, or you won't be able to accomplish the goal. So this really aids in that calming of the turnings of the mind, which is in and of itself the whole point of yoga. Come back to breathing normally, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. And now twist around on the mat, put your legs straight out in front of you, arms up in staff pose. And fall forward over your feet in a seated forward fold. Breathe out. Pulling your toes back, lengthening those hamstrings, lengthening through your calves. And up. Now in this position, without moving our legs, we're going to twist to the left, plant both hands on the mat, and raise up through the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend that back elbow and look over your shoulder. Back to center. Place both hands on the right side of your body. Breathe in, open through that chest. And breathe out. Bend your back elbow, sink further into the twist, and look over your right shoulder. Now come forward. Bring your feet together in front of you as close to your pelvis as you can get them. Grab onto your toes. Breathe in. chest up towards the sky. Breathe out. Fall over your feet in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Come back up to sit. And we will go into a tabletop position. Knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. We're going to do cat-cow. So breathe in, drop your belly to the mat, chin up to the sky for cow. Breathe out, arch your back, drop your chin to your chest for cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Now keep your legs where they are. Plant your forearms down onto the mat a little bit in front of you. Come forward into Sphinx pose, engaging through your legs. Put your palms where your elbows were and push up into cobra. Keeping your legs engaged. Now we're going to go one step further. Lift your thighs and knees up off the mat so you're resting on only your hands on the tops of your feet for upward facing dog. Now from here, push your hips up and back and roll over the tops of your feet into downward facing dog. Adjust your feet as necessary. And breathe in and out. In and out. Just let your head kind of dangle from side to side. Walk out your legs. And we're going to walk our hands back to our feet, landing in Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe out. Breathe in, come all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And now spread your feet wide on the mat. And we're going to do a yogi squat. So breathe out, lower all the way down, trying to keep your feet flat on the mat into a yogi squat. You can use your elbows to push your knees apart if that's within your practice. And we're going to come on up, pivot your feet to face forward into chair pose. Bend at the knees, bend at the hips. The upper body should be a straight line as much as you possibly can. Come back up into Urdhva Hastasana, breathe in. Bend over into Uttanasana, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway up, breathe in. Now we're going to walk our hands forward into downward facing dog. Breathe out. Lean your body forward into high plank, breathe in. Lean even further forward onto the tips of your toes and lower down in one straight line. Breathe out. Flip onto the tops of your feet. Push into your hands. Keep those legs engaged and breathe in for cobra. Now land on the balls of your feet, push your hips up and back, breathe out, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into three-legged dog. Bring that foot forward between your feet, or between your hands, sorry, and arms up for a high lunge. Drop your hands back down around your front foot and kick your leg up back into three-legged dog and back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Now kick your left leg up and back into three-legged dog. And bring your left foot in between your hands, keeping that back foot where it is. Arms up overhead into high lunge. Put your hands back down around your front foot. Kick that left leg up and back into three-legged dog. And plant your foot back down on the mat for downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Come forward into high plank. Even more. And lower all the way down to the mat in one straight line. Flip your feet over, landing on the tops, and push up into cobra. Breathe in. Tuck your toes, bring your hips up and back. Breathe out. Landing in downward facing dog. Now come onto the tips or the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look forward to the front of your mat. Jump to the front of your mat, landing in Uttanasana forward fold. Breathe out. And we'll just stay here and breathe for a minute. Come on up, Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe in. And Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe out. Ground through your feet. Catch your breath. Ground through all four corners of your feet. Collect your balance. Collect your center. Now step back towards the middle of your mat. And we are going to go into Warrior 3. So lean onto your right foot. Bring your left foot out behind you. Straighten your leg. Arms forward. Warrior 3. It is perfectly acceptable to put your hands on the mat if need be. Just trying to keep that back leg straight. So you can do this. If you have blocks, now is a good time to use them. Or if you would like to try the full thing, go ahead and try Warrior 3. And come back up to stand. We'll do the same thing on the left leg. So put all your weight in your left leg. Lift your right foot up off the mat. Lean forward. Extend your right leg back behind you. Arms forward. Oh, I got sweat in my eye. Arms forward into Warrior 3. It is okay to fall out, as you can see. Happens to everyone. Oh, goodness. And come back up to stand. Now we're going to do tree pose. And as I've said in my previous videos, you can keep your foot on the mat and rest your heel against your ankle. You can put your foot against your calf. Or if you want to do full tree pose, grab your foot and put it against your inner thigh. We just never want to rest our foot on our knee because that can cause damage. So we don't want to do that. So when you are ready, put all your weight in your right foot and come on up to tree pose, whichever version is best for you. Arms out to a T and up overhead. From here, we are going to do our standing pigeon squat. So arms back down to a T, release your foot from wherever it is, and wherever your foot is landed is where we're going to do our standing pigeon squat. So if it's down here, up here, or over your thigh are all acceptable. So once you have your foot in position, squat down with your right leg like you're doing a chair pose, and bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart for a standing pigeon squat. If any of these are too much for you, you can replace them with chair pose. Remember, this is a practice, not a perfect. And come back up to stand. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come on up to tree, whether it's ankle, calf, or inner thigh. So come on up with your foot to tree pose, arms out to a T, hands together above your head. Wherever your foot is, release it and cross your ankle in front of your leg. Arms back out to a T. And squat your left leg like you're going into a chair pose. Or you can just do chair pose if this is too much. Hands together in prayer and Anjali Mudra in front of your heart for a standing pigeon squat. And come back up to stand, arms in a T, and release your foot. That felt good, I thought. I hope you all did too. So from here, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, breathe in. Bend it back, release. Deep breath. In and out. In. And bend over, Uttanasana, forward fold, and release your breath. Continue to breathe. Grab onto your elbows and let gravity pull you down. This is a nice counter pose to the standing pigeon squat because it allows you to stretch your hamstrings, stretch your calf muscles. From here, plant your hands, walk them forward, and come onto your knees. We'll bring our knees wide apart, big toes together, lean your hips back over your heels for a child's pose, and breathe. Forehead on the mat, just relaxing, sinking into this child's pose. And come back up. Now come on, flip onto your sit bones. Knees out in front. Lean your body back at a 45-degree angle from the mat, legs at a 45. Arms straight out in front. And we're going to pick up our right foot and our left foot for boat pose. And we're going to release everything off. From here, we are going to gently lower down our upper body and our legs at the same time. Down all the way to the mat, landing with palms up for Shavasana, our final relaxation. Deep breath in and out. And in and out. In and out. Go back to breathing normally. Release your chin if you're clenching your teeth. Relax your shoulders away from your chin as well. If you're gripping with your fingers, relax your hands and allow your body to fall into the earth's grasp. Allow the earth to cradle your body. And as we lie here in Shavasana, it's important to think about what we have done today on the mat. Conquering fear of trying new things and allowing this practice to take our minds away from the chaos and the constant thoughts of what do I have to do next, and able to put some stillness into your mind by focusing on one thing and one thing only, which is accomplishing the asanas in this practice. The whole point of yoga is to control the turnings of the mind. And one of the ways that we do that is through asana practice. And this Shavasana at the end of our practice is our meditation after we have used asana to calm the turnings of the minds. We are ready to come into a meditation. So let's lay here in silence and just focus on the breath. I invite you to stay in Shavasana as long as you need to. But if you are ready to bring consciousness back to your physical body, do so by wiggling your fingers and toes. Reach your arms up over your head. Bring your knees over to the side, resting in a fetal position. And with your eyes closed, come on up to a comfortable seat on the mat. Resting with your palms in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, the mudra of gratitude. And bow your chin to your heart, sealing in this practice. Thanking yourselves for taking the time out of your day to help with your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. It is important that we make time for ourselves and for our own personal healing, because in order to help those around us, we must first help ourselves. So go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today here on the mat at Zen Zone Yoga. I see your love and light through the cameras. I will see you next time. Namaste.